You guys, I just found the biggest Epstein rabbit hole thus far, so sit back, get your snacks, we're going in. Now, if you go through the files, you'll see teeth or teeth cleaning come up a lot in the files, which could be code word for something else. And let's not forget, teeth is actually mentioned over 1,800 times in the files, and yes, that's a real picture of a dentist chair on the island. Now, on one hand, Ivy could be a person who works at the dental office, like it says here. Tell Ivy that it will take extra time as the girl's teeth are disgusting. But that's where it just begins, because this Ivy shows up where it says, Ivy gives you a kiss. Who is this? Which leads me to this Ivy Nash. Now, she has multiple accounts on X, but this particular account is very interesting because of who she follows. Now, she only follows 5 people, but the last 3 is Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Susan Hamlin. And you can tell it's Epstein only because the JEE gives it away, because it's the same way he uses it in his email, JEE Vacation. Now, we'll get to Susan Hamlin in a minute, but on Ivy Nash's other X account, she has this as her banner where it says, Mossad agent. She's even playing in everybody's face saying this, oh, it was a compliment to call me a Mossad agent. Now, she's responding to Elon's tweet saying, if she's a 10, you're an asset. And the Times article says, female spies are raging sex warfare to steal Silicon Valley secrets. Now, at this point, we all have to assume if you're not a victim in the Epstein files, you're an asset to the network. Now, she's dropping clues all over the place, like this one where she says, I'm approximately 47 pizza boxes tall. What? Oh, you mean like the code word pizza that we all know? And who's the 47th president of the United States? Trump. Now, here's another clue that's left in her bio where it says chirp at presents to Internet Valley Elf, which looks like nothing at first, but if you take the first letter of every word and put it all together, CAPTIVE spells captive. What is going on? Now, here's where it really gets interesting, because all accounts, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Ivy Nash, they're all following each other, but they're also all following Susan Hamlin. Who is that? Oh, you mean this Susan Hamlin, who's Epstein's assistant and could allegedly be a handler for Epstein. I mean, why would she instruct Epstein himself in this email to knock somebody off? And you can tell that it's her because the redaction was so bad by the FBI, you can literally see her name where it says from and to Jeffrey Epstein. So the question is she some type of captive asset to the network and or Jeffrey Epstein's daughter, because she does favor Anya Wick, who's allegedly Epstein's niece, who's also whistleblowing on everything, so there's that. Now, there's a whole lot more I'm breaking down on my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, but let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
All the chills I have down my spine. So they removed children's teeth so they could not bite. I can't. They removed children's teeth so they could not bite. This is what explain. This is a picture from the files that was like this creepy room in Epstein's house of a dentist's office, but with all these freaking heads on the wall. Literally, look at this. This was a random photo. Why is this in the files? Because they would allegedly remove these babies' teeth so they could not bite. God, when I tell you I'm so angry, let alone this photo of this baby with her hands. Like, God, we are not angry enough. This is insane to me. This is insane to me. Mind you, the president of the United States was listed over 15,000 times in these fucking files, and he is still fucking president. Why the f is nothing happening?
Was Elon Musk's brother having a gay relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? Let's talk about it, because this email is incredibly damning and deeply disturbing. So up top, that's Kimball Musk, Elon Musk's blood brother. And I'm gonna make a whole nother video about this, but Kimball was extremely close to Jeffrey Epstein, and I'm talking really close. But we have to examine this email. So this email was released by the DOJ. You can find this in the Epstein files. I'm just gonna read this to you in full. April 26, 2013. Kimball Musk writes to Jeffrey Epstein, hey, sorry I was in such a bummed out mood last night. The load of everything around me has been so intense and seems to just get bigger. Yesterday was super sad losing Manhattan, frowny face. It's still soon for Jen, and that causes me stress. I have the awful insanity of Kayla. How that is going to affect Stella terrifies me every minute. And now I have my sister living with me. I don't think I'm being very fair to you as well, and it is weighing me down. I want to have time for you, but at the end of each day, I just want to pass out, and then I don't sleep. It's a wonderful routine. Winky face. We know how much we like each other, but I'm just not able to do a real relationship right now. Would you be up for going back a step to just dating? I'm gonna break the third wall here. This is between Kimball Musk sent directly to Jeffrey Epstein. Would you be up for going back a step to just dating? He's saying this to Jeffrey Epstein. But Kimball continues writing, we would see each other on weekends when we can and focus it on fun stuff. Bringing you into my drama can't be fun for you, and it isn't healthy for me either. I could tell you were sad that you couldn't join me in Boulder, but honestly, I don't think I could handle staying relaxed with you in town. Thoughts? XOXO. It's just crazy. I hope you still come to LA. I will dedicate Sunday to you so that we have some quality time together. Smile, K. So this email came from Kimball Musk and was clearly sent to Jeffrey Epstein. But what does this really mean? Well, we know based on some of the emails and the messages found within the emails that Kimball Musk was set up with women through Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein actually set him up with various girls. But did Epstein have some sort of a bisexual relationship with Kimball Musk on the side? I mean, the wording there, you cannot ignore. Kimball is actually stating not only the XOXO, but directly saying, would you be okay with going back a step to just dating? I mean, it's truly bizarre stuff. When you get into the world of billionaires and billionaire brothers like the Musks, everything is just strange. And people like you and I, we don't understand how these people operate and how these people live. But let's say that this is true and Kimball was dating the pedophile pimp that supplied him with women to be used and then dumped and was having sex with the pimp of the women. It would really just be another day in the world of oligarchs and the ultra wealthy elites. But I'll keep you guys updated on this situation as we find out more.
I just found an Epstein file that describes in detail what is shown in a picture that's been redacted. Remember, as you read this, Republicans are actively saying this entire case is over and justice has been served. But the people who did this to an innocent human being are still not in prison. The image is at the top, as you can tell, completely blacked out, and you'll see why. But I'll include the file number so you can check this out yourself. It says the photo shows a girl, her face visible, who looks like a child with medium-length dark hair. Several white men are holding the girl's legs opened. Her parts are visible and gashed with blood coming out. In the photo's foreground, another man with a white shirt appears to be inserting something into her. A round imprinted symbol of some kind, maybe a brand, is visible on the girl's leg and the underside of her left thigh. Additionally, the girl's mouth looks bloody and her tongue is extended. There's a bruise mark under her left eye, as you can tell, absolutely terrible. Additionally, this paragraph right here is pretty disturbing as well. It talks about a time when a French modeling agency sent Epstein 12-year-old triplets. It also talks about a phone message slip referring to lessons from 2 8-year-olds and how Epstein thought the younger the girls, the better. But all those people in that picture who were doing unspeakable things to an innocent human being are living a lavish life, not in prison right now. And while this is happening, Republicans want us to think this whole case is over and justice has been served.
Pam Bondi saw this photo before she said that there was no evidence of crimes. Pam Bondi saw this photo before she said that we should ignore what are in the Epstein files because the Dow Jones Industrial is over $50,000. This photo, Attorney General Pam Bondi has seen this photo and is telling you that you need to move on. Fuck you, Pam Bondi.
No way, this is Ghislaine Maxwell. This is the most recent photo of her released on Monday, February 9th, 2026. When you do a side-by-side comparison, the noses don't match, and either do the eyes. Looks like they've got the body double fitted with a cheap Amazon wig. When have we seen this before? Not only that, but the Friday before this picture was taken, New York Post conveniently got footage of Ghislaine Maxwell walking the yard in prison, and what do you know? They are now handing out umbrellas in jail. You know, to make sure her skin doesn't get damaged, or maybe so we don't see her face. The question now is, did she ever actually go to prison? She may have taken these photos in 2020, but the video from that same day seems to be somebody entirely different. So, what do you think? Did Ghislaine's appearance completely change in the last 6 years since she's been in prison, or did they swap her out with a bad body double? As always, I want to hear down below.
They're eating babies, man. Like that's
so that you think is real. So
well, yeah. Not only that, I think that there's sacrifices going on every day in Los Angeles. I mean, allegedly, high-level musicians, let's say, high-level female musician, is killing chickens every day, doing sacrifices.
High level.
Well, I don't want to say names because I don't want to get sued, and I don't want to be dead either.
What does it rhyme on? Here's the purchase order. I go, okay. I started looking at the comments for some stuff.
Kanye actually predicted all the Jeffrey Epstein Island goers in a music video long ass time ago. All of them? He was trying to warn us. So you see that? He's being dragged. Who was that? Being dragged by his legs immediately. Depicting Hollywood, right? Looks like Marilyn Monroe. Closes up. All the stars. And who is on the wall? Who's that? Donald Trump, Jay-Z, P. Diddy, Bill Gates. Why those specifically? And this is around the time people were going to the island.
Know some niggas that went to that island. Why the fuck would you go to that island?
Well, this has been going on for a minute then. Is that why they tried to crucify Kanye before? They kind of wanted to put the media against him. They want to make him sound crazy. The whole time he's the one trying to get the message.
It's a party tonight.
This is the one that I hate the most. Because this one scares the shit out of me. Because the fear of, we talked about this yesterday with Roger Avery, the fear of these literally demonic human beings that are running the world and don't give a fuck about human lives and enjoy watching people being tortured, enjoy watching people killed, participating in ritual sacrifice of people, and they do it in order to show that you're a part of a team. We know that has always historically been a real thing, and it's been something that you look at in history, you go, God, it's so sick, it's so twisted, it's so disgusting, and everybody wants to think, thank God that's not happening now. But then when you realize, like, that might have been happening now. Here's one of the craziest ones. The day he was indicted in 2018, the very next day he ordered 330 gallons of sulfuric acid.
What?
Yes, he ordered 6 55-gallon drums of sulfuric acid to be delivered to the island. And so there's a lot of people online saying, oh, that's probably for his desalination plant. That's probably like a regular thing they need to order. So then someone else did a deep dive and said, no, this is the first time this was ever ordered.
That again, I saw there was 2 other ones.
Oh, there was 2 other orders?
17 and 2015.
Oh, so that guy was wrong.
The first one from that company, potentially.
Ah, that makes sense. So maybe it was for this desalination equipment. But also, that's a lot of sulfuric acid. You know, if I needed 5 gallons for my desalination equipment, but 239 gallons, whatever it is, to burn kids. Look, what is this? This is not good. None of this is good for this administration. It looks fucking terrible. It looks terrible. It looks terrible for Trump when he was saying that none of this was real, this is all a hoax. This is not a hoax. Like, did you not know? Maybe you didn't know, if you want to be charitable. But this is definitely not a hoax. And if you've got redacted people's names and these people aren't victims, you're not protecting the victims. So what are you doing? Right. And how come all this shit is not released?
Now that we are aware that our country has been run by satanic pedophiles that have been operating a very, very young person sex trafficking ring for decades, I think it's time that the public knows about Nikolai Mishijin and John McAfee. And if you don't know about these people and have never heard of them, hang on to your seat because you're in for a wild ride. And I just want to preface this by saying, if for some reason I go missing or I end up not alive anymore, it was not by my own doing, and y'all should investigate and feed my cat. So Nikolai Mishijin was the co-founder of the decentralized crypto platform MakerDAO, who tweeted, literally his very last tweet said this: says the CIA and the Mossad and the pedo elite are running some kind of sex trafficking, entrapment, blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands. They are going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex-girlfriend who was a spy. They will torture me to death. Pay attention to the date, October 28th, 2022. This is when he died. He was found dead in the ocean, not even 4 hours later.
I remember seeing that he had passed away, but I didn't know that he tweeted that just hours before he passed away. The fact that his girlfriend was a spy, man, she was never into you, bro. That's crazy.
4 hours later. So let's move on to John McAfee, because this story is even crazier, believe it or not. So John McAfee was a very smart guy, kind of an asshole, but definitely borderline genius. So he invented the McAfee antivirus software. He was super good at...
I thought we called it McAfee. I can't even say it no more. Y'all know the antivirus software.
Coding, knew a lot about the internet, knew a lot about computers. The government was after him for tax evasion, and they busted down his door, shot and killed his dog, and that motivated John McAfee to fight back and get revenge. So he donated a bunch of laptop computers to the government, loaded with spyware, and found out a bunch of corrupt crap about the government. He publicly started exposing some of it. Let me show you a quick clip just to give you a brief summary of the kind of stuff that he found out about.
I did find out that the Minister of National Defense was the largest drug trafficker in all of Central America. And the Minister of Immigration, the largest human trafficker.
And what's even more suspicious is that he unalived himself in jail after publicly stating on video and on his tweets and everything that if he ever was found self-unalived, it was not by him. Know that if I hang myself a la Epstien, it will be no fault of mine. This is his wife's account. She also believed that the government definitely had something to do with his death. It says that the U.S. authorities are determined to have John die in prison to make an example of him for speaking out against the corruption within the government. And to make matters even crazier, he tweeted, allegedly, you can't find it on his account anymore because of course they're going to take it down. If anything ever happens to me, please know that the 31 terabyte of files I have are located on hard drives in my condo near 88th Street and Collins Avenue just north of Miami Beach.
So to hear people say things that are just crazy, like I'm a part of a cabal, and there's a whole conspiracy with children, that stuff makes me sad. It makes me sad more than anything that people believe it. And, you know, it's taken me a long time to get to the point that I'm not, I don't feel hurt by it. I don't feel personally hurt by it. But now I know we live in a world where it's going to be magnified.
Jeffrey is asking if you can FedEx the painting he had made of the Massacre of the Innocents to the ranch. It's the large 9x9 canvas that we had rolled out for him to see in the entryway, where they are killing babies. He wants to use it on the ranch and is hoping you can FedEx it to arrive by Wednesday. Thanks, Sarah. So this is an email from a woman in Epstein's life named Sarah Kay to someone named Rich Barnett. And in this email, they talk about Epstein's recent acquisition of a painting or a copy of a painting known as the Massacre of the Innocents. Now, this is the painting I believe that they are referring to, and it's a pretty graphic painting. It, in full detail and full color, shows the slaughter, the mass slaughter of young boys under the age of 2 years old. The story that this painting is based off of comes from the biblical Gospel of Matthew. And essentially in this story, Herod the Great, the king of Judea, orders the execution of all males under the age of 2 years old in Bethlehem, which leads to an absolutely gruesome scene where children are being ripped from their mother's arms and slaughtered in the streets. Obviously, these paintings by themselves are incredibly disturbing, just like the biblical story is disturbing too. I mean, for me personally, this painting of a baby about to get slaughtered while his mother seems to be crying out in pain, it's really hard to look at. But it's even stranger when you consider that Jeffrey Epstein wanted this picture to be hanging in his ranch's entryway, and his assistant, I don't know who this girl is, but she states that he wants to use it on the ranch. Now, I don't know what you use a painting for. I mean, it's just strange terminology there. But this painting is incredibly graphic for something that you would have hung up in the entryway to your home or ranch. And it spares no detail in its depiction of these babies being murdered. There are gray corpses of children. There are crying mothers. This is art. I want to state that for the censors. This is an art piece. This is a painting. It's not real. But yeah, this is truly one of the most grotesque, disturbing paintings that you could possibly own. And yet, Epstein not only owned the painting, but he wanted it displayed in the entryway to his ranch. And keep in mind here one last thing, it's the wording in this email. This woman describes this painting that Epstein wants in his home so desperately with very specific and descriptive terminology. She describes this painting, The Massacre of the Innocents, as the painting where they are killing babies. And it's also strange because if you looked at it grammatically, it could sound like she's describing the entryway of the ranch where they are killing babies. That's what the grammatical interpretation of that sentence would be if I'm correct. Now, all the art that Epstein owned and displayed in his homes and properties, it all tells a story. It's like a secret window into a dark, twisted mind. And this painting in this email paints an extremely dark story.
At the hunting parties, they'd have all these expendable children outside in the woods, and usually they have holding grounds, like a tunnel system or something underground where they hold the kids in cages until the time of the hunt. And the hunt usually happens later, once it's dark outside. They'll kind of make a perimeter, which is pretty large, of these woods, and they'll station the different elite people around the perimeter. And then when they give the go, they release the kids, and the kids are told just to run, to hide. And that's when the elite will go through the woods and start hunting for them.
And there's over 7,000 photos. Of course, they got photos of Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton. Got some Ghislaine Maxwell here. Oh man, they got a ton of freaking photos. Look, Ghislaine talking about she pleading the fifth, right? She pleading the fifth. Nah, that looked like more than the fifth. That looked like the first, the second, and the third. Yo, then we got some redacted images as well. Plenty of. Who is this? I don't know if that's some young man that's hugged up on Jeffrey. Look, Miss Plead the Fifth herself. Dang, you got a ton, and I mean a ton of pictures. Look at her. All up in these pictures. Uh-oh, she got to look out the little cootie cat out on this one. So, because they released some new stuff on what was the holiday that just passed? Valentine's Day. So there's new updated Epstein files, and obviously a ton of that stuff is redacted. You've got to go through hours and hours and hours of uploads in order to find the real incriminating stuff. Oh, look like some party favor type stuff on here. You got images on the wall of naked women. You got Jeffrey with some child laid up on him. Tons of pictures of what looks like is inside of Jeffrey's home. We're looking for the most incriminating stuff. Obviously, you can go through some of these images here and really see the stuff. Why has he got so many framed pictures of him and kids? Jeffrey didn't have no damn kids, man. Little boys, little girls, young women, freaking drawers, vibrators and stuff. Just thousands, y'all. There's over 7,000 photos here. All right, let's go back to some of these videos. Go back. Oh my God, y'all gonna make me go back like this? No, heck no. Let's see. Let's go back to Jeffrey's 2. Super short video. Jeffrey, what looks like he's patting on a child, like a little girl or something. We got Deepak Chopra up in here. We got these clips of Jeffrey where he alleged some dude tried to kiss him that had yuck mouth, had some stuff going on, some sort of disease. You know, I'm gonna look for the most incriminating. Right, that looked like a video out in public of some young girl. This is interesting. This is some young girl, and it looked like she's wearing a see-through school uniform. Very short clip, only 2 seconds. You blink, you're gonna miss it. Another clip, same sort of thing, 2 seconds. Very young looking girl, at least from what I can see. Can't really see much. Some of these videos here are also, the audio is redacted on them as well. So with what little bit of information you get from the video itself, you get very little from the audio too on some of these. That one, it seems to have been playing out loud, but it was very short. It's very redacted. You don't really know what to make of it. You can't really gauge the age of the young lady that was in the video. These girls sound young. Saw a black man on that plane. Who records for 2 seconds? Oh, aggravating. Hell, some of them aren't even a second. A lot of redacting going on in that video for something that appears to be so public. A longer clip, 13 seconds, clearly a little girl playing with toys, and y'all just know Jeffrey is hugged up on what appears to possibly be a very young girl. Whew, y'all, I don't know how much more of this stuff I'm willing to watch.